Alright, welcome back to another fantasy video. First of all, apologies that I missed the last couple of events. But I'm back now, hoping to bounce back since I've had a couple of poor events now. And I've dropped out of the top 1k. It's looking kind of dark and bleak at the moment, but hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. Let's hope I can bounce back and let's start off. Or let's start doing that right here at Bucharest. So just quickly looking at the teams, I'd say Perivish and Mongols obvious favorites. Then I would kind of put Astralis, Foot, and Legacy in that same bracket. I feel like any of those 5 teams could win this event. FaZe might not actually play because they're going to Belgrade to compete for their major life. And the rest of the teams, I just don't see it. Unless 3D Max show a new page, but I doubt it. But yeah, let's just jump straight into the fantasy. So, first things first. Irish are just way too expensive. I totally understand the reasoning behind it, but uh, I'm not paying these prices for these players, especially when we've had some evidence that they can struggle when they are not the underdog. Well, I guess they aren't really the underdog that often anymore, but I have seen them struggle against weaker teams, so I just don't see the point in picking them at these prices. I mean, as I said, I'm not surprised if they win the whole thing. They probably should. But yeah, not for me. Then the Mongols. You could maybe make a case for Blitz, like maybe. But again, too expensive for me. And with Astralis, I kind of have an inside joke with my friend about them. And I like to hype them up more than I probably should. Uh, so now that I actually have a reason to pick them, because I feel like they could actually do well at this tournament, then I have to pick them. And I don't hate it, to be honest. I'm definitely going Astralis. I like the pricing of Foot. They're again like reasonably priced, even though they have shown promising results. Legacy, pretty good pricing as well. The rest, don't really care much for, except maybe some budget players. You could maybe, I don't know, if you're really strapped for cash, you could maybe go head trick. I like the look of Matthias, because Focus has been surprisingly good, and if anyone's watched my channel, like back in the day, ZTR used to be kind of a fantasy goat for me for a little bit. So I'm a bit biased. Plus, of course, we have Finnish player in Banjo. So there's that. Now, the only problem is, if I'm gonna go with Astralis, I definitely want either Fozy or Stair. Kind of leaning Fozy at the moment, because, I don't know, I just like his explosiveness. I feel like he has the bigger points potential, even though Stair has been putting up super good ratings. But yeah, going back to what the problem here is I can't go like Jabby because he's 209. And then I would want to pick either Foot or Legacy. It's between the two. But I can't do anything here. I can't even go like Krabeni Cemetery because I just don't have any money. So unfortunately, it's looking very likely that I'm gonna have to go with Hooksy. Now, I know how bad of an individual player Hooks is, but when he's playing against weaker opposition, he can sometimes, you know, put up okay ratings. Plus, he's so cheap that he enables me to build like a decent team around him and Fozy. So it's looking increasingly likely that I'm gonna have to use him for this fantasy. So that's where we're at currently. And then, as I said, it's probably gonna be Foot or Legacy. I would like to go Jukes and Krabeni, because Krabeni has been really good for me in fantasy as of late. But that leaves me with 185. I'm not gonna go CZ, even though Bait has been looking slightly better, but against weaker opposition. I don't trust MIBR. I don't really like Volt as a fantasy pick. DTR has actually been playing pretty okay. But I mean, these teams are not really anything to write home about, except maybe Passion UA and Inner Circle are of course at this tournament. I don't hate the CTR pick. I don't hate it. I could see myself going there, but with Hooksy already in my team, I just don't quite love it. As I said, I think I'm gonna go with Mathios. Like I could go Jukes and Cemetery, but Cemetery is the worst player on this roster. And he's the op, which is kind of crazy. But that leaves me 190. Nitro, no. Crazy, I could see myself going with. I just have no idea what we're gonna get out of BC game at this event. But I don't hate the crazy pick. But yeah, I'm currently leaning towards Mathios, as I've said a couple of times. Now, if I wanted, well, if I wanted to do that, I could go Longs and Cemetery, and then I could still get Mathios. If I went with Legacy, I would want Dumao, because he's like the best performing player on their team by far. But then I would have to go with Art, because if I pick anyone else, that leaves me again with 186. Leaves me Materis. Not really hyped about that. So, I mean, yeah, in a way, I could go like Lado and Dumao and then get CTR. But they also have the toughest opening game you probably could have at this tournament, which is against Paravision, so I don't love that. I've kind of been toying around with a 2-1-1-1 draft. That would include Jugs. Then either of Nissim or Sadzin, I'm not quite decided yet. I mean, the roster might, or my lineup might change still. So I'm going to leave a link to my fantasy team in the description if anyone wants to check if I change it before the deadline. But this combination of players would leave me with the exact money for Mathias. Now listen, I don't have super high hopes for Focus at this event. But I feel like I'd rather gamble on kind of a semi-promising team and have one of their better players as opposed to going with like a low-rated IGL from another team or something like that, like a Nitro or something. So this is kind of what I'm leaning towards right now. As I said, subject to change. But yeah, those are my thoughts for now. As usual, let me know in the comments what you guys are going with. How's your fantasy events been going? And yeah, good luck with this. Good luck with this one, guys, and thanks for watching.